Hey everyone, so I want to do things a little differently. Instead of just posting a couple of laps or sessions, I kind of wanted to go over and talk about the track, what I learned, and the overall experience. I think it'd be pretty cool to look back on it and hopefully see some progression down the line. So me and some friends went to Road Atlanta with P.R.E this weekend. It'll be the second time I've been to Road Atlanta, but the first time I've ridden in intermediate with them at this track. So definitely had some nerves, especially because the first time I was at this track, I destroyed my old R6. With that being said, everything I'm saying here is just my opinion. Shouldn't be taken as a guide by any means. I'm not fast or very experienced on this track, and I haven't been riding in the intermediate with them for very long. So this isn't coaching, just some kind of reflections of my own experiences here. Anyways, we came down to ride Friday and Saturday. We had killer weather all day Friday. The sun was out pretty much the entire time. Started out the day pretty cautious and didn't really have a very good pace at all. Really just wanted to shake out some cobwebs and kind of get back into the groove of things. This was the first track day of the season for me. Last time I rode, I think, was in November last year. So anyways, earlier in the day, there were quite a few people kind of running off track, and there were a few wrecks here and there. So I was just, taking things pretty slow, being cautious. Rather take my bike home in one piece than try to be faster than someone else, keep up with people that I shouldn't be trying to keep up with. So took things pretty easy. There were quite a few things I learned about the track that I didn't quite pick up on last year. I'll kind of go over a few things as we're coming through specific corners. So coming down the back straight here, it's definitely possible to keep your throttle pinned the whole way through the kink here. I think I was turning in too early quite a few times, and it was causing the front end to shake a little bit when I was having to add more lean angle. So just keep that in mind. But 10A and 10B here felt fairly strong all day. A lot of people were running off in the braking zone coming into 10A, but I felt like there was a fair bit of room, so it might have been due to target fixation or maybe people just braking way too late, I'm not sure. But the front straight here, pretty simple, pretty much just keep it pinned all the way out of 12, and I had some trouble finding a good brake marker for turn 1 here, but again, I wasn't really trying to go out there to set any kind of lap times. It was just kind of shaking the cobwebs off and having fun. Chicanes here, turns 2 through 4. I was extremely slow. I could never quite figure them out. I don't really know what wasn't clicking, but something wasn't there. Kind of broke my confidence coming through the S's here too. I would generally start catching up to people coming out of turn 5 right here. Earlier in the day I was doing it in second, but I was getting a lot of head shake from the front end coming up over that hill. But I started taking it in third. It settled the bike down. Lost a good bit of corner exit drive, but it was worth it in my opinion. I'll talk about 6 and 7 here as I come around again, but everything felt pretty solid throughout the day. The bike did really good. I was running slicks for the first time. They were from Avon, so the bike had a kind of different feel than I'm used to, but it was nice. There was a lot more confidence, especially on corner exits, so it was definitely a plus. And I was doing the same thing, either short shifting into third or staying in third through 10A and 10B, so my front end wasn't coming up as much coming over this hill. Again, it's kind of losing time, I'm sure, but I just kind of wanted to settle the bike down a little bit and be on the safer side. Now turn 1 here, there was a few times we were entering pretty slow, like right here, kind of cut down into the high 60s, but you can can definitely take that corner a lot faster. Some of the guys in intermediate were probably taking it in the 80s, like upper 80s, maybe even into the 90s, but I was not quite comfortable with that, so around low 80s was about the quickest I would do it. So coming out of 5 again, this short straight coming into 6 and 7, I definitely needed to work on kind of braking a little bit later, but I ended up using the second billboard there kind of as like my hard brake marker. That's when I really needed to get on them, but 6 and 7 they felt pretty strong for me. I don't really feel like that many people were pulling away from me through that section, so I think I was kind of keeping pace for the most part. Only thing I would do that was kind of slowing me down was every once in a while I would forget to shift down into second. So my exit out of 7 was a little bit lacking, but you know, you kind of make up for it if you just hold the throttle throughout the kink there. I also didn't really have a good brake marker for 12. It was just kind of, it was really by feel for the most part. It seemed like a lot of people were pretty inconsistent coming down the hill, so I don't think I was the only one. But next time I'm at Roseland, I really want to kind of focus on finding a brake marker for 12 and working to try to figure out the chicanes up here. I probably had a couple laps where they felt good, but otherwise they just felt awkward to me. And then it would always kind of break my confidence coming into the S's here. And the body positioning through the chicanes, like 2 through 4, just never felt very comfortable at all. But once I'm out of the S's and into turn 5, that's when I would normally be able to make up some pace. Definitely not keeping up with some of the faster guys, as you can see, but there's a huge skill gap in intermediate. It seems like P.R.E does a really good job of keeping people in novice until they're pretty consistent. They run a good pace. And the same thing could be said, I'm sure, for moving someone out of intermediate to advanced, so you have a lot of room to grow in intermediate, but that also causes, you know, there to be a lot of different, a lot of variety and skill in the group, it seems like. But you definitely see everybody riding pretty safely and keeping a good pace. Everybody kind of holds their lines, definitely better than novice. So even if somebody is running a different pace than you can normally get around them, or you know, someone else can trust you to hold your line so they can get around you safely. The passing rules in intermediate with P.R.E is essentially you can pass on the outside through a corner, but you cannot pass on the inside. So it just kind of helps to, you know, be able to predict what people are going to do. Also had kind of a hard time figuring out when to brake coming up this hill. But a big part of that was because I was always nervous and thinking about turns 2 through 4 there, so I think I was in my head a lot about that whole section. But you can see this guy just pulls away from me through the chicanes and the S's. But after turn 5, which is kind of where I start picking up pace in comparison, it's all relative, but I have a better pace through the back half of the track than I do kind of 1 through 4. Anyways, I'll probably leave off here in just a minute. I believe this was the last lap I ran in this session. I'll have a couple more videos posted, some other raw footage more than likely of the weekend. I think I've also got a clip of my buddy riding my bike after he had a valve stem blow up on his back tire, so post that for him. Anyways, thanks for watching.